This altcoin just hit 11 million transactions per second. That is 450 times faster than Visa and 7,000 times faster than XRP. And its market cap, still 500 times smaller. Eric Schmidt, the guy who scaled Google from $100 million market cap to a $180 billion, is the lead investor. Rumors say Visa and Bank of America are already testing it quietly. I've been in this space for over 5 years, and this just might be the most undervalued coin I've ever seen, with massive potential. You're not supposed to know about this coin, but fuck it. Here it is. Here's why Keeta might just be the XRP killer. So what is Keeta? Keeta is what happens when Visa, SWIFT, and Solana all created a lab-grown baby. And Eric Schmidt, the ex-CEO of Google, raised that baby in the cloud, in Google Cloud, and trained it to replace the entire financial system. We're talking about the guy who raised Google from a small startup to a multi-billion-dollar empire. Will he do the same with Keeta? Who knows? But what I do know is that he's only backed one crypto project before, and that project is called Chainlink. He helped take Chainlink from a minuscule project to the multi-billion-dollar behemoth Chainlink now is, which literally is the king of data in the crypto space. Now, he says Keeta is the most scalable project he's ever seen. I guess you know what's happening next, huh? And guys, this isn't some random Ethereum blockchain wannabe. It's literally trying to be the rails to power the next evolution of the financial ecosystem. I want you guys to think of Keeta as a layer 1 blockchain, but then it acts as layer 2 for the entire world. It doesn't want to replace the entire financial system, but it wants to let them run on it. And they're not just talking about crypto and stablecoins. They're talking about real money and real world assets as well. Here is what makes Keeta an absolute monster. 11 million transactions per second. Tried, tested, confirmed. Sub-second finality, meaning all transactions are instant. Horizontally scalable, meaning the more nodes you put, the more speed. Already pilot tested with Visa, and currently 450 times more throughput than what Visa can currently handle, while also being 500 times smaller than XRP in terms of market cap, 7,000 times more throughput, 4 times faster, and literally 1/500th the size of XRP in terms of market cap. That is absolutely insane. Now you guys might ask, why is this so fast? What makes it so unique? Most blockchains work like a shared Google Sheet. Everyone submits transactions, and each row, aka block, has to get approved. Validators, or so-called block confirmers, need to agree on each row at the same order, at the same time. No jumping ahead, no skipping. Everyone is stuck waiting. Even chains like XRP or Solana still jam up under load because no matter how fast they are, it's still just one shared Google Sheet. Now, this is what takes Keeta to the next level. Instead of one shared sheet, think millions of Google Sheets running in parallel at the same time. And validators don't need to wait. They can just approve your DAG. And the faster nodes can simply jump ahead, letting them reach consensus much quicker. No bottleneck, no queue, just parallel finality, and all transactions finalized insanely quickly. Now here's what makes Keeta absolutely insane. Most chains, they rely on one powerful validator per node. That's expensive, super hard to decentralize, and literally a scaling nightmare. Keeta breaks that model. It lets validators be built from clusters or smaller machines, like how Google Cloud or AWS operate. Instead of having 100 genius machines, they just have 100,000 regular ones working in sync. Anyone can simply just add more hardware and then get more speed. That's exactly how Keeta hit 11 million transactions per second. Not in theory, but in a real stress test. But scalability isn't enough for real-world adoption. Have you ever wondered why banks create their own blockchains instead of building on existing ones? It's because existing chains are missing key features that traditional corporations are required to have by law, which, you might have guessed it, Keeta has in abundance. Also, shout out to Execure, which I'll be getting some info from his PDF that he created. He's pretty much the master of Keeta, and I'll be linking his Twitter down below. So these are the features that set Keeta apart from every single crypto project and make it perfect for banks and institutions. So why do banks avoid crypto? It's because they can't touch wallets that might belong to criminals. And if they do, some of them can literally go to jail. They're legally required to follow KYC and AML rules. So instead of using existing chains, they instead create their own ones, their own private ones. Keeta flips that. It bakes KYC and AML into the chain itself, natively. Institutions can choose to only interact with verified wallets. I mean, you can still create anonymous wallets with Keeta, but for the first time in crypto history, you can attach your real-world identity to your wallet. Keeta also has what they call anchors, an easy way to bring in real-world assets onto the Keeta ecosystem. Gold, real estate, fiat, onto the chain, directly and securely. They even added custom privacy controls. So, a Swiss bank issuing gold tokens, for example, can limit transfers to wallets only verified by Swiss regulators. Guys, this is next level compliance, and no other chain offers it like this. Keeta is already testing with over 50 banks globally, including a real pilot with Bank of America. They've already served as the core record-keeping system for these partner banks in many different regions. This means Keeta didn't just replace the messaging layer, but also replaced the bank's internal record-keeping systems. So yeah, remember when I said this just might be the XRP killer? Well, that was an understatement. It might just be the SWIFT killer, which is the messaging layer for banks that process $5 trillion daily and 1.25 quadrillion yearly with a Q. They've already collaborated with Visa, powered by Keeta's tech. They've even hinted at Keeta serving as a ledger for Visa itself. After Bank of America and Visa, question is, who's next? Who else are they talking to? If they can just get 1% of SWIFT, that is $25 trillion annually. And if crypto regulation opens up even more, Keeta could quietly become the back end of the entire financial system. Keeta was built by Tai Schenk, the original founder of Nano, a DAG-based cryptocurrency that once hit $4.5 billion, then collapsed. Why? Because Nano went all in on decentralization. No KYC, no institutions, no real-world interaction. Schenk knew that dream couldn't survive, so he left and rebuilt Nano into Keeta with the exact opposite playbook. He started over, from decentralization purist to real-world adoption machine. He took what worked for Nano and rebuilt it into something 10 times more powerful. Keeta, a chain for institutions, scalability, and compliance. Then, he pitched it to one of the biggest tech legends in history, Eric Schmidt, the ex-CEO of Google. Initially, Eric backed him with $2 million in seed funding. Then, another $15 million once Schenk proved it worked. This is only the second ever crypto investment Eric Schmidt made in after Chainlink. He's already calling it the most scalable blockchain he's ever seen. Guys, this isn't just another altcoin. This might be the closest thing we've ever had to a Google-grade blockchain. Now let's stack Keeta up against the big dogs in the crypto world. XRP, Solana, Sui, Sei, Aptos. Every so-called fast chain with high throughput. Just look at this. XRP, 130 billion market cap. Solana, 80 billion. Even Sui is sitting on 9 billion. And Keeta's $240 million market cap. That's not just undervalued. That's more like we don't even know you exist yet levels of pricing. Now, let's talk throughput. XRP matches out at around 1,500 transactions per second. Solana around 65,000. Sei 20,000. Aptos 160,000. Even the big brains at Sui are flexing 300,000. But Keeta, 11 million transactions per second. Real stress-tested throughput, not just white paper bullshit. And speed of transaction, XRP 3 to 5 seconds. Solana 12 seconds, but they say soon to be sub 1 second. The rest 0.4 to 1 second. Keeta is already sub 0.4 seconds. Compliance. Most of these chains, no built-in KYC, no AML, no real token rule enforcement. That's why the big banks and big corporations can't touch them. But Keeta, it has KYC, AML, compliance certs, and token level rulebooks built into the protocol itself. Literally a regulator's wet dream. Now let's talk partnerships. XRP has some bangers. American Express, PNC, Dubai Land Department, which is honestly an insane partnership. Solana's got Visa, Telegram, PayPal, HSBC, Dubai Commodities. Respectful, some pretty hard hitters, that's for sure. But Keeta's partnered with 100 plus banks through Solo, pilot tested with Visa, and is reportedly in trials with Bank of America, with many more to come. Though these aren't really confirmed yet and is all just hearsay for now, I'd say that Keeta is still behind in terms of the partnerships aspect as compared to their competitors, as compared to the big dogs. But from a tech and architecture perspective, I'd say they're ahead of the game. Now, let's be real. No legit project launches without drama. And Keeta had more than its fair share. Some accounts claimed Keeta's testnet wasn't real, that the numbers were faked, that it was all front-end fluff. But guess what? The New York Journal confirmed the smear campaign. So did CoinGecko. The transactions were real, the data was legit, and the FUD was squashed. But still, that led to a more than 30% decline in Keeta's price. But here's where it gets even shadier. The loudest critics were tied to MRG, a competing project. They even claimed the founder's chemistry background was a red flag, offered 0 receipts, and then ghosted when asked for proof. Meanwhile, Keeta released the data, addressed the claims, and published the test results. And after all the drama, they did what real builders do. They just kept building. While the smear campaign circled, Keeta was busy teasing something way bigger. Stripe had just acquired Privy, a major crypto wallet infrastructure player. Keeta even teased an S partner, which has now been deleted on their Discord. Then, Keeta PayDrop, a Venmo-style payments app for global crypto transfers. Faster, cheaper, and built on Keeta's rails. For me, in crypto, how a team responds to attacks tells you more than any white paper. One project kept building, others implode on its insecurity. Keeta didn't fight back with drama. They fought back with tech, traction, and receipts. That's Keeta. Most crypto projects launch with hype, raise huge 9-figure rounds from VCs, and get cozy with market makers, then dump their bags on you and me. Keeta did the opposite. No massive VC rounds, no airdrops, no sponsored articles. They didn't even pay for exchange listings. That's why it's still somewhat difficult to buy, I'd say. I put a link to their official subreddit down below in the description so you guys can check it out and learn how to buy. Also, personal disclosure, I bought Keeta at 0.1. I sold some at around 0.75, and then I bought some more at 0.58. Personally, I think this thing is going to around 2.5, maybe $4 during this bull run, depending on how things go with the crypto market. If Bitcoin goes to 150, this could go to like 8 or 9, but I try to be conservative with my price predictions. Would I go all in? Hell no. Guys, always manage your risk. That's the first rule about investing with anything. But I will say this, even if just half of this plays out, I think Keeta isn't just undervalued. It's wildly mispriced for what it can actually do. And if they pull this off, they won't just be the XRP killer. They can be the SWIFT killer and become the new back end of the financial system, especially if crypto regulations become a stronger part of America and the financial system. If you like this video, you might want to watch my next one on XRP. I break down its origins, who's building on it, and the extremely bullish news that just came out that no one's talking about. And if this video helped, smash the like, hit the subscribe so you can stay tuned for more low-cap crypto gems and crypto news. I do stupidly simple breakdowns of game-changing tech as a side passion of mine. This is JustTonch, just getting started. See you guys in the next one.